Second comment.
Oh, because they don't know we're supposed to start now.
No, we actually, our sound's on already. Welcome to another episode of Outside Shots. My man EJ's back. I'm back. I kind of screwed up last week, folks. We were supposed to have a show, and somebody forgot to tell somebody else that we weren't having a show. So I got a call at 8:30 in the morning by the one, the only. And yeah, that's my bad, folks. That was my bad. I didn't pass the message on. We weren't going to have a show last week. It was Christmas week, and, you know, brother was on vacation. So I appreciate your understanding, though, EJ. So that one was on me, and I owe EJ. See, I'm a man of...
You're a man of what?
Principle.
You're a man of lateness?
Principle. Well, Chantel has it right today, though. EJ always late, LOL.
Yeah, Chantel, stop. How am I late? Show started at 9:30 today. And because I got in at 2 o'clock a.m., and I only had a few hours sleep, Chantel. I got to let you know how I work, okay? How I work. I'm an animal, okay? So I got in at 2 a.m. 2 a.m., and I'm here at 9:30, okay? I didn't go to sleep at 2 a.m. I got in at 2 a.m. I didn't go to sleep till about 3:30 a.m., and I'm here doing my job. Unlike when I show up last week.
Oh, my.
No, I drive all the way down here.
All the way? You live like uptown. What are you talking about?
I could have stayed in my uptown bed. Okay. I got up. I drive down here. But there's things I have to do. I had to get up.
I know.
Wash up.
I felt bad,
pull out
man.
my outfit. I mean, a lot of things I had to do.
I
get
terrible.
Here and ghosts. Yeah. No one's here.
The door's locked.
Door's locked. The beautiful young lady downstairs is always nice to me. She says, Eddie, good morning, happy Thursday. The security guard.
Yeah,
Every
DJ,
time I walk past her, she's very nice. And she didn't even know. I knock on the door, ghost, nobody's around. He's at home sleep. How do I know? I called him. This is how he answered the phone. I'm like, man, you in the bed?
Yeah, I just woke up.
You must have been doing some OGs the night before.
I mean, maybe. Speaking of OGs, we are presented to you by OGs, the great folks over there. We'll get to them in a little bit. But Eddie, sometimes it feels like at points in the last couple weeks that our beloved team has been sleepwalking through some of these games. But last night they finally bounced back, played with a lot of purpose, it felt like, and a lot of energy. I thought it was a good change of pace and much needed change of pace from what had been happening the last several games. Again, you being around the team and kind of feeling the vibes. Obviously, we'll get into the KD stuff and the perception that this team has about it. But you being around it, you traveling with the team and kind of feeling the aura, if you will. What is your kind of pulse on what's happening with this team right now?
I had to explain to people something because I know it's hard for them to get it. And I understand it because I'll fall into the trap now that I don't play anymore, is that athletes have a forgetful gene. You have to. Because especially in the NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball, because you play so many games. Yeah. You can have a bad game on Monday, and you got to get yourself right for Tuesday. Like, you don't have time to grieve. And I think a lot of people, that don't play at that level, right, and they're at home and they're watching, like, they don't understand that part, man. Like, and I get it that you don't understand it, but it's a lot of former athletes out there that's fallen into the trap as well. It's like, you got to forget it, man. And, like, the athletes don't go home and they're, like, worrying about it and saying, oh, woe is me. Oh, we'll never be able to get it done. Oh, we're done. We're over. Like, people at home that have no control over the wins and losses.
Yeah.
They have no control. The only thing that they can do is turn the TV on or go to the game and sit there and hope and pray, okay, they play well. That's it. Where the athlete has to actually go out there, get there early, get himself prepared mentally and physically, go out there against an opposition that's trying to continue to drill him and make it tough on him, right? Example, the Detroit Pistons, who can't win a game. They've lost 27 straight. It's very difficult. And so you have to forget the negativity. Like, you have to get rid of it and get back on a positive road. And what happens is fans sometimes want to keep you on that road because they don't believe. Well, this team believes. They do. And they went out there last night and they played an excellent basketball game from start to finish. Probably one of their best games all year. Mm-hmm. And they were forced to have to do that. Now, give the fans credit, the media credit. You got to at least admonish them and get on them to make them focus, right? So, yeah, that's part of it. But they really got out there last night, moved the ball extremely well, played good D, and everybody was involved. Like, everybody that played last night, I thought had a positive game. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you need to be in that position. So it's good that the fans get on them. Don't get me wrong. Good. It pushes guys. But also understand that they're not walking around thinking about what you said. They're not.
For sure.
They can give a rat's you know what about you. Okay? Respect you, but they don't know you. Love you because you support them. But they don't have time to think about what you say. And I think that's the hardest part for fans.
You brought it up last night. You just mentioned it again about forgetting, having a forgetful gene, just moving on to the next thing and not dwelling on the past. I think from my perception as a fan is that while that could be good in terms of not dwelling on the negativity or the mistakes that you made, it could also be bad because you're not learning from the mistakes you made. And it felt like for about a 2-week period, the same things were being repetitive over and over and over again. The turnovers, the sloppy play, the lack of movement, the lack of defense connectivity, like those things from day to day were not improving. It felt like it was just one thing after another kept happening and happening. Now, obviously the injuries play a part. The rotations, obviously Vogel right now is throwing everything out there to see what is going to connect and what's going to work. And what I told Flex last night, and we kind of agreed, there's not a single player on this team that can actually say, maybe with the exception of maybe Bull, because he's only played like 3 or 4 minutes all season. There's not a single player on this team that can't say that they had an opportunity to have an impact on this team. They've all gotten bona fide minutes. They've all had opportunities for stretches during these last 30 games. And you see, Udoka last night, Azubuike, having a fantastic game. I thought he really provided a lot. Back-to-back games, for sure. And even though Nurk didn't play a lot, I thought his impact was significant, especially in that first quarter. And it just, everybody's getting an opportunity. When you look at the things that need to improve, let's just take away the turnovers and the injuries, because I think those two are the most prominent. What are the things that you're seeing on the court in terms of, let's start on the offensive side. What is not happening offensively when things are going bad that causes concern for you?
First of all, let me answer your first statement you made. Nobody is harder on themselves but them.
Yeah.
Like, serious. Like, the reason why guys are at that level is because they love the game and they've worked on their craft. And when they don't have a good game, so I'm not saying, because somebody gets on them that the forgetful gene means they forget. No, they know. But they don't have to be, you don't have to be repetitive with it. Like, they understand. Like, when they walk back to the locker room after a Dallas Maverick loss, they know that they didn't play well. They know it already. And they don't have to be reminded of it time and time again. So what I mean by forgetful gene is they go through it, they understand what they did wrong, they go through emotion, they drive home, they deal with it, get questions from family, they deal with it, maybe pick up social networking, look at it, deal with it, and then they freaking get up the next morning and they get back to the gym and they got to forget it. They go work on what they need to work on. And so, yeah, I think a lot of times the reason why it's repetitive and they're making mistakes and all that in this stretch is because, as I said, they haven't been whole.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, it's just like somebody making your favorite pie and they don't put the same ingredients in it the time they did before. And you eat it like, damn. It tastes like it did before. Right? So that's just the mentality. And so I think they're going to be fine. They just don't, they finally are getting everybody. When is the last time we saw KD, Devin, Grayson, and Book and Gordon on the floor at the same time?
I mean, it's happened, but not very often.
Not often, right? And then Nurkic was out. And then, Okogie was out. I mean, Okogie was there last night. Nurkic was there. The only person that was missing last night was Beal, and he's close to being back. So that's what I say. I mean, just wait, and then we'll see how everything works out.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, look, 15-15 doesn't look great, but they're only about 5.5 games out of the third spot. They've already won 7 in a row. So I'm not worried about that. And what was your main question?
About the movement on offense. What's concerning about the movement on offense to you?
Well, again, I think it's everybody has to be on the floor, and I think what we do fall into, and for me as a player, like I had to earn, like if I wanted to play 35 minutes, I knew what I had to do to get my 35 minutes. If I was just going to be content with 27 minutes, then I knew if I did some things wrong, I was going to get just 27 minutes. And so my whole goal going into every game is to not do things outside of my character.
Mm-hmm.
And stay within, really, I think, the levels of my game. I think sometimes we get out of that, right? Guys try passes that they shouldn't be trying,
mm-hmm.
especially cross-court passes. Guys know the play, but they don't understand and forget that the other team knows the play. And they'll do lazy handoffs and throw the ball up out there, and the guy's like knowing it's going to come, and he jumps in and he takes it. Mm-hmm. It's those lapses that can get you in trouble, and then it can compound itself. Whereas you just make the sure pass. Don't jump and pass the ball. If you're not freaking Michael Jordan and Magic. Anthony Edwards that can jump and hang in the air for an extra 2 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're a guy that's not a huge athletic guy and you're jumping and gravity's going to pull you right back down, all of a sudden you lose sight of the court and you throw the ball away. I was always a guy that I didn't do that. I stayed anchored to the floor and I made my sure passes. I didn't care if I got 2 assists, if I got 5 assists. My job out there was to get some buckets. Buckets, baby. And only get the buckets, I got to make sure I don't mess up.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing guys do now. We're seeing guys, fighting for minutes. They see that they get an opportunity. Saben Lee, I've been fighting for Saben Lee. He finally is getting his opportunity. I love what he brings. Very aggressive, gets to the rim. No-nonsense guy. Will take care of the ball. I like that. Azubuike, gee. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude's a monster in the paint. I love the really the opposite roles that he and Nurkic play, although both big. Nurkic is not a guy that's going to elevate over the rim.
No.
He's not.
But they're both pretty,
can do it.
But they're both pretty stout.
They take up space, but
mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is you can throw the ball up and Azubuike can go get it. That's the difference, mm-hmm. right? And so it's a different. When you need athleticism, now you can go with Metu and you can go with Azubuike in the lineup with KD. So it's just that combination. I think Vogel is starting to find out here, and he's going to lean toward. And I like it. I like it. Look, if Josh Okogie's not making his shots, then he knows he's not going to get his 30 minutes. That's what I'm talking about, right? If if he's gonna get disinterested and don't rebound or whatever, he's not gonna get his minutes. So now you go out there with a purpose every night, and you know exactly what's expected of you, and you go out there and you get it done.
Yeah.
And I love the way that Devin and Katie didn't buy into the people talking about, oh, he looked disinterested, he's not shooting the ball, he only took 11 shots. And Katie came out there and said, you know what? Shut up. And he still didn't shoot the ball. But guess what? He had 16 damn assists.
He did.
Okay?
27,
I mean, you
16,
have no
10.
idea the level that he can get to. Now, good for you. You pushed him a little bit and you got on him, and you know KD's out there and he's reading stuff. That's fine. But it's not going to change his mentality and how he tried to play. And he came out the Dallas game, as Devin did, and they said, you know what? We're going to try to get other guys involved. It didn't work out because, let's face it, Doncic was out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
So it did not work out. But against Houston, they did the same thing, and it worked out. And that's what they have to do.
Prong 123 saying, stop making excuses, EJ. Suns should be good enough with Book, KD. Beal ain't the savior. I don't think EJ not once said Beal was the savior. Not even once.
I didn't even mention Beal's name.
I know. I don't know where that even came from.
Well, you know what it is. It's a robotic mindset. He thought I said it, and he hoped I said it because he had already had in his mind what he wanted to say. And Prague, I will tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why don't you go further than 3? Maybe that's your limitation. I don't know. You know, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Keep going. And then maybe you might change your mindset in what I said. Okay, simple. It's simple. It's extremely simple. You look young, so maybe you're in school and you shouldn't even have your phone. Maybe that's the problem.
You think maybe he's in the middle of algebra class and he shouldn't be paying attention?
That's the problem. Okay? So pay attention. Okay? It's easy. Yeah. It's easy. It's easy. If you pay attention, you might learn something. I never said that. I said the combination of players the Suns have not had on the floor. And it only takes a little bit to throw you off stride. Prague, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, man. In the words of the great Chris Tucker, listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth is what EJ's trying to say. Oh, my goodness. Listen, after that, you probably need a little bit of a drink. Not you, Prong, because you're probably in algebra class. So you could probably just go to Four Peaks. They have the greatest brews out there, craft brews out in the city. The #1 brewery here in the state of Arizona. You can go to their 8th Street Pub. Their menu also is fantastic. The food menu is phenomenal. They change their menu every season. So check them out over there at 8th Street Pub. And you can also follow them on Twitter and on Instagram at Four Peaks Brew. And check them out. Again, if you just go to fourpeaks.com, you can check them out, find the closest place where you can buy their delicious beverages. And we got something really, really cool in store come May for all our diehards concerning Four Peaks. So stay tuned for that. Remember, if you're going to enjoy some Four Peaks, you must be 21 or older, and you must enjoy responsibly. All right. This next segment is probably going to drive me to drink a little bit, because I'm really getting a little fed up with this whole narrative about KD. And listen, if you've been a KD fan, this is nothing new. KD gets random strays all the time, seemingly, and I don't even understand it. The latest one came from Woj, where he basically said that KD's frustrated, blah, 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 blah. Well, like, yeah, no shit. Everybody's frustrated. And to back up that point, Shams jumped into the fray, and we know we love a good Woj versus Shams battle. Shams jumped into the fray this morning and had this to say.
Everyone has been upset about the losing. That happens across the league. When you're losing games, you're going to be upset. And whether it's teammates, players, coaches, team officials, they've all been upset throughout the organization about being 500, being a 500 team. And from my understanding, they haven't seen anything abnormal, anything extreme that's different other than just normal frustration, normal being upset from Kevin Durant. And last night, clearly, he was dedicated to the task at hand with that triple-double career high tying 16 assists for him last night. At the end of the day, the Suns, they know they need to get healthy. They do need to start winning games. And that starts with Bradley Beal being back in the lineup. How much he eases the load for everyone on that team. He creates mismatches, and he makes everyone's life easier. They need him back on the floor. We haven't seen that big three for more than one full game, and that's a problem for Phoenix, getting him back in the lineup. He had that sprained ankle a couple weeks ago, December 15th. It was a nasty sprain. I'm told he is progressing. He is ahead of schedule, and I'm told he could return as soon as this weekend. They play on Friday against Charlotte or Sunday against Orlando. Those games are within the window for Bradley Beal to make a return to the lineup. They know he needs to be available. They know he needs to be motivated. They know he needs to be in the lineup and really embracing that hybrid point guard role that they've set out for him, because he needs to set the table for guys like Devin Booker and for Kevin Durant. And so everything around this team was designed around this big three. And hopefully for the Suns, they're getting closer to seeing that with those three being in the lineup.
Okay, now prong 1, 2, 3. If you want to talk about Bradley Beal, here we go. But in relation to KD and his frustration, as Sham said, it's nothing abnormal. Listen, when you lose multiple games in a row, you're going to be frustrated. Everybody is frustrated. The players are frustrated. The coaches are frustrated. The fans are frustrated. Like, the broadcast is frustrated. Like, we know. Like, it's nothing new. So just to single out one single player and in terms of Woj and make it seem like this is a problem now for Phoenix because KD is frustrated and insinuating that other things are afoot it's careless and it's reckless. And I'm not here for it at all, EJ.
Well, the advent of social networking, which are basically newspapers now. Woj has a huge following, obviously. Shams has a huge following. We have other insiders that have a big following. And it's like people don't even get a newspaper anymore. They just basically go to social networking and that's their newspaper. And so what happens is it becomes a lot of competition, right? So back in the day, you'd had your local newspaper and you would have USA Today.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Right? And people would get the paper and they'd read it, and that would be it. And so it was a limitation on how many people could be out there actually working. Now with the advent of, like I said, podcasts and different things, it's a lot of competition. And the thing that just drives me nuts is so much competition that they tend to take shortcuts. Now, I'm one that hates that because all you got to do is Google, and we've had a conversation about this on the show, just Google my name, and you'll see that I got mistaken for the other Eddie Johnson in regards to his crimes. And it was only a rush to put a story out there where people didn't do their homework and they thought it was me. And I suffered for that, And so my point with
he was also a basketball player, right?
Huh?
Was he also a basketball player?
Oh, he's an NBA player.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And so, but still do your homework. He's 6'2". I'm 6'8". He went to Auburn. I went to Illinois. Right there will tell you who's who. But again, it was a race to get a story out. This is the part that bothers me about Woj and all of these guys, is that they're competing against each other now. And so they're relying on people to give them stories. And when I first heard that, when he said that on, I think it was a pregame show, ESPN, I was like, what? Like, man, can't nobody have a bad day, dude? Like, now you, just because of that game, right? The combination of Luka kicking our butt, the combination of maybe KD not having a good game, maybe he tried something that he tried again last night that worked, but it didn't work in that game. He flustered with that, probably upset at a teammate that maybe didn't remember to play. Or whatever it is, Woj. And I heard Woj, the one thing I heard about Woj, he is very aggressive with coworkers. Like, in regards to making his point across.
Okay.
And get what he wants. Yeah, I said it because I heard it. I don't know if it's true, but since you're saying stuff that's not true, I'm going to say stuff that maybe is not true. How about that? I mean, come on, man. Like, to go public with that, after really on a short notice like that, not understanding what's going on with this team, and I'm going to protect my team, Woj, okay? Respect your job, but I'm going to protect my team. For you to go there, to me, was just too quick. Like, come on, man. It's still early in the season, okay? And like I said, somebody's on his payroll. I don't know who it is. And they gave him that information. And Shams came back and threw it back in your face. So there's the competition. It just bothers me, man. It just bothers me like when it deals with the draft. Like, I'm watching the draft. I don't know about you. It's theater, right?
Yeah.
I want to know who's going to get drafted next. Because back in the day, that's how it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who are they going to take? And you got to sit there and you got to wait. And they're panning the crowd, and they got the camera on the kids, and they're all nervous. And all that is gone because Woj wants to tell you 2 minutes before it happens.
Yeah.
So what good is the telecast? Drives me nuts because it's a competition, man. And that's why I think it hurts them in regards to insiders because they're racing to be the first one to get the freaking story. Call me next time, Woj. I'll tell you. Call me. I don't know who you talking to. I don't.
Well, KD was fed up with it, and he had this post on Instagram, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but this post by KD says, Woj says somebody else feels, quote unquote, that I'm frustrated, and it turned into me being mentally checked out. This shit crazy. These people can flat out lie on my name and make shit up, and you people will believe it, but when my teammates and coaches speak on how I am as a teammate, you ignore it. LOL. And listen, everything I've ever heard about Kevin Durant, even with the drama going on in Brooklyn, even with him leaving Golden State, he's always been viewed as a great teammate. Like I haven't heard a lot of negativity towards Kevin Durant from other players and other teammates of his. Him and Steph are still very, very close. Matter of fact, Steph in his documentary on Apple TV talked about KD in a small snippet. And KD, when Steph broke the record for most threes in a career, KD was there at his after party because obviously he was with Brooklyn, and he went and gave him a hug, told him he loved him, proud of him, whatever, and then he moved on. And Steph told, I forgot who was next to him, said, that's the most misunderstood man in the league. Like, I love him to death. Like, because Steph knows, like, this narrative around KD has just been so erratic. It comes from a place that I can't really even pinpoint. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Most of the time when you have the greats like KD, they're revered. LeBron is in a high stratosphere and people revere him, and Steph, but KD for whatever doesn't get the same love for whatever reason.
Well, here's why. He's not out there in the public. The only time you see KD is where?
On the basketball court.
On the basketball court. Now, he has his other things. I think he has his podcast that he'll do, but it's not really talking about basketball and ripping players like these other podcasts that these players have. He's out there talking about business and different things. Boardroom, I think is what it's called. And he's out there really trying to educate people. So they don't get to see him. He's not doing a ton of commercials. He's not out there cheesing for the stuff. He's not. I've been wearing braces. That's why I did that. It kind of straightened it up a little bit. I got the clear braces, you know?
Yeah.
That's for my orthodontist.
Smile looks good, EJ. It looks good.
Yeah, let him know.
Let him know.
Yeah, but KD's not out there doing that, man. Like, KD's not out there. He plays ball. He has a surly way about him on the basketball court. No nonsense. And people tend to take that for character, right? I see him conversing with his teammates all the time. I see him on the bench area, helping his teammates, talking to them. He's not one that's going to be like a Chris Paul, out there all the time talking. That's not his personality. And so people look at that and they think, oh, he's a mean guy. And to me, that's the crazy part about it. And I think that's the frustration for a lot of media people, that he doesn't give them much, but he gives them responses.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they say something, he'll go at you, right?
Yeah.
I just think, and he's right. His teammates, obviously, you're not hearing anything negative from his teammates, but you get some of these players out, like, and they'll say stuff that really hurts it even more, and they'll say stuff like Brandon Jennings, KD should leave Phoenix.
Because the Suns are cursed.
And I retweeted. I was like, who are you? I don't even know you. What's your name? But I know who he is. He's a guy that shot below 40% his entire freaking career. How do you play that many years and you shoot below 40? You only shot above 40 twice in your career. I'd be quiet if I was you.
Oof.
I don't know. I mean, you telling a top-notch shooter to leave, and you didn't even get in the gym and work on your jumper. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear it. So, yeah, you're going to get me. You're going to get the policeman, EJ, on social networking, especially when y'all trying to talk down a team that I'm around and I know what's going on. Yeah, Brandon Jennings. I know who you are, but I just forgot for 1 second because I looked at your field goal percentage and I was like, could he play in the league shooting that poorly?
Wow, EJ came with the heat today, man. Good God.
This is what happens when you miss a week.
Maybe I should miss weeks more often. My goodness. Hey, listen, man, the only beef I have with Brandon Jennings is the fact that he committed to my U of A Wildcats and then he didn't show up. He decided to go overseas.
Good thing. There's been a lot of damn bricks. A lot of damn bricks in that arena.
Oh,
He
my
built
goodness.
y'all a new arena.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, we'll calm it down a little bit. OGs is a great way for you to calm down. Just get yourself some OGs by going to ogsbrands.com. Find the closest dispensary to you. Obviously, we talked about the indicas, the sativas, the Happy Balance gummies, the RSOs, everything you need to give yourself a nice little relaxing evening or have a great time wherever you're going to go out and have a good time. So just remember to go to ogsbrands.com. Follow them at OGs Brands on social media, on Twitter and on Instagram. And remember them as well. You must be 21 or over and you must enjoy responsibly. Prong123 is on another kicker right now. He said Woj is just reporting what information is given to him. No, it's careless reporting because he's singling out KD. Like that's, you don't think Devin Booker's frustrated? You don't think, Bradley Beal's frustrated with being injured? Like everybody was frustrated, but he singled out KD. That's the problem.
Devin
here.
walked out before the game was over. I think it was 3 seconds left. Whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
But guys can be upset, man. If they walked off doing this, like a lot of these guys do, want to hug each other at the games. I'm going to tell you something right now. Whatever the guy wants to do, I have no issue with it, okay? Now, you can call me a poor sport all you want. I'm not hugging nobody that just kicked my ass. Not doing it. Not in front of you. Now, when the game's over, I go take my shower, I cool down, I walk out, I cross roads with them in the hallways. Hey, man, good game, bro. Good game. Love you, man. Good to see you, blah. I'm off. But you immediately want me to go up to Saul and hug him after the podcast? Heck no. Hugging him. When the cameras go off, I give him a dap. And I'm out. You guys want people to hug each other at the games. And so that's okay. So a guy walk off surly, there's something wrong with him. Oh, he's mean. Hey, get out of here with that. Go kick rocks with that junk, man. Like, Mike Tyson kicked people butt. You think I want to hug that fool after he knocked me down? No, I don't. Not immediately after. No, not at all. I might hug him after that because he probably made me some money because I got in the ring with him. But other than that, no. Stop with this stuff, man. I just don't like when players, after a game, they go up and they hugging on each other and they having a long-winded conversation. Now, if you're going to go past the guy, say, man, good game, man. And keep walking, got no problem with it. None. Well, I'm not standing there in full view of everybody smiling after I just got my butt kicked and having a good time talking. It's just not happening. And KD, one of them dudes, man. He ain't into that. Every now and then he'll do it with guys that he knows, But for the most part, man, Devin rarely does it. Okay? So, It's almost like they want to jump KD, but Devin is in a lot of ways like KD.
I know. That's my point. I don't get it.
Yeah, and so they just want to turn to KD and go at him. But, man, look, I hate to lose, man. And I don't talk to anybody when I lose.
That's true.
I don't even talk to my family.
After we golf every single time, even when EJ wins at golf, like it takes about 15 minutes before words are spoken outside of, hey, you owe me this much money. That's the only thing he might say to you within that 15 minutes. But it's usually like everybody just go to your car, put your clubs away, come back into the clubhouse, everybody chill out, grab some water, and then we start eating, and then everybody starts, being a little bit more cordial. But it's usually like
I have to calm. I have to, because what I'm doing is I'm thinking about, dang, man, I missed that putt on 15.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to really go back and try to correct things that I did wrong for the future. It's like I'm always doing that. Even after the podcast, I'm like, on my ride home, I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about, man, I should have talked about this. I should have did that. My radio show, like my family knows, after I'm done with a 3-hour show, I sit in that room, man, for about 45 minutes just to calm down, decompress. Like, people got to understand this, man. I mean, you would think you go to work, don't you? When you go to work, people, after work, do you want to, like, go home and do some more work?
Yeah, no.
Wife say, can you go to the store? Go to the store? I just work 8 hours. I'm tired. What's the difference? You got to wind down, especially when you got kids.
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to go home and all of a sudden you feeling away and then you take it out on your kids, right?
Yeah.
And I mean take it out on them, meaning don't be as rambunctious as they are. They're happy to see you. That's what that is, man.
Yeah.
You just don't want to, man, you stop it with it, man. Stop trying to judge a dude that's averaging 30 points a game, has been our most consistent player all year long. He's been the most consistent, right? And he's been the most healthiest. And he's the oldest. But you're going to nitpick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woj is like notoriously Sean Marks's guy. And so I feel like it's in Sean Marks' best interest for KD in Phoenix not to work out after it didn't work out in Brooklyn too.
Of course. But he should be happy. Sean Marks should be happy because he got Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. And both
not according to you.
Yeah. Well, no, like, listen, like, I think it was a good trade. I'm not going to sit here and be revisionist and say, oh, well, they shouldn't have made that trade now because things aren't working out. You don't know how they're going to work out. You have no idea how it's going to work out. We still got 52 more games left in the season.
How many quotes we heard, man?
You know what I mean?
Like,
too many.
We shouldn't have made that
Too
trade.
many.
We should have
Too many.
And somebody else just came out and said we should have kept the team the same. What's the shooter from Orlando?
Oh.
That came
Talk
over.
about JJ?
No,
Reddick?
No, from Orlando we picked up on the buyout market.
Oh, yeah, Terrence Ross.
Oh, Terrence, yeah.
He comes out yesterday.
Well, he was defending KD because he was responding to Brandon Jennings talking about the Suns were cursed. And that's why KD should leave. And he said, he's like, the Suns were winning before KD even showed up. It ain't the Suns that were cursed. And I don't think he was throwing shade at KD. He was just defending the Suns like it's not their fault.
What he kind of said, they shouldn't have made the trade.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
Yes. He said they shouldn't have made the trade. And they should have stayed the same. And my thing is, we probably would have stayed the same if you would have made some shots.
I think you can interpret his comments either way.
Sometimes you put it on yourself too.
I mean, yeah.
But when you're a member of the team and it was expectations for you, right?
Yeah.
And I was happy that Terrence Ross came over.
I mean,
but he couldn't make a jumper.
I mean, yeah, but also, like, come on, man.
He what I'm saying is,
but come on, Monty.
He's a professional.
He was so inconsistent with his time.
I find that's fine, but he's still a shooter.
All right.
Like, you got to buy your time. Like, if a coach is not giving you what you should, then in those limited minutes, you got to go out there and make it work, right? And he had some good games when he first came over. But that's what I would say to him, because I would say it to myself. So I'm not really going at Terrence Ross, but I would say it to myself. I would have made some jumpers, maybe, wouldn't have been that way.
Maybe. That was a little bit of shade. Maybe Brandon Jennings, maybe Terrence Ross, maybe even EJ throwing some shady. But as Enslow said, EJ should be wearing Shady Rays today, and you can get yourself a pair of Shady Rays by going to shadyrays.com. You can use promo code PHNX and save yourself up to 50% on more than 2 pairs of those sunglasses. You can actually go up to the Kierland Commons store and actually physically try on all these things. EJ's looking for his Shady Rays because I didn't give him any yet. I'll get you some, okay? But you can go to shadyrays.com either online or you can go to the Kierland Commons store. Get your pair rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people right now. So shadyrays.com. Check it out, people. All right. KG has been very adamant about some things. He was on the Stephen A. Smith show the other day. And I wanted to bring this up because I thought it was a very prominent debate. And then this is also going to lead into another thing regarding Bill Russell and the Miami Heat. But KG had this to say about the GOATs versus today's players.
The problem I think with today is that we are so hung up on the yesteryear of the culture and the history that built the league that, bro, we're missing out on greatness right in front of us. LeBron James is 38 motherfucking years old doing something we ain't never seen. We got a whole 7'6" Frenchman in the goddamn league. He's a rookie looking like he's a 2-3-year-old player, looking like he's a guard. He nutmegged the guard. Man, bro. Listen, Wilt Chamberlain is rolling over his grave right now. If we told him a 6'10" power forward was playing center and jumps this high is the best. Bro, we got to get off it, bro. Bro, we got to get off this. You know why, Steve? I say this, bro, and I say this. And I say this to the world. I'm glad we on here.
Sure.
Bro, we got to get over this. Michael Jordan, Magic, they are the past. We got to embrace this new-ish. Bro, we ain't never seen Steph Curry. We ain't never seen nothing like Steph Curry.
We ain't never seen it.
Shoots from Mars, bro. We keep talking about Jerry West. Shout that Jerry West was a super goon, did great things for the league. But, yeah, we're in a new time, bro. Jerry West ain't never seen this type of range.
Jerry West ain't never seen this type of range. I mean, it's true. It's true. I think there's a healthy balance here. Like, you can respect the past and respect the accomplishments and achievements of some of the greats of the history of the game, while also acknowledging that today's game is a little bit different and respecting how efficient and how great players are today in this era. I don't think they have to be exclusive of each other. I don't think you have to divide it. And then I know everybody wants to make the comparison because a lot of people like to go from the known to the unknown and try to relate the two and figure out how this person would match up with this person. And I think that's why, the MJ versus LeBron debate is such a hot topic, right? But, like, there are things that Michael Jordan did that no player has done since and no player has done before. It is hard to have back-to-back three-peats with two years in between. Like, that just doesn't happen when guys leave the game. Okay. All right. But you know what I'm saying, right?
No, you're going to say 6 and 0. I'm going to say you mentioned Scottie Pippen's damn name.
I'm going to say Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan won 6 championships, and Scottie didn't win any without him.
And Jordan didn't win any without him.
He didn't have to because he built Scottie. Anyway, we're not doing this.
He didn't win any without Scottie.
We're not doing this right now.
Okay, so stop. If you're going to mention 6 and 0, I didn't say anything until you mentioned the damn 6 and 0. If you're going to mention 6 and 0, you mention Scottie's name with him.
Well, then you can't mention LeBron without all the other great players that were playing with LeBron at the same time as well. Especially Kyrie.
It was you saying Scott. You said Kyrie better than Scottie Pippen.
Kyrie carried the fucking Cavs in Game 7 offensively. What are we talking about?
One game.
He doesn't win a championship without Kyrie. See, this is why I didn't want to get into this.
One game.
He also had D Wade and Bosh.
I carried Charles, Hakeem, and Clyde Drexler in one damn game. And I'm not walking around thinking I was better than them.
Pippen's not better than MJ.
Fact, I carried them in 2 straight games. I had 31 against the Utah Jazz in 97. I had 31 in game 3. No, game 3.
Okay.
Had 31. And then I came back with the game winner in game 4.
You did.
Okay. It was called Eddie Johnson Memorial Weekend. That's what it was called.
You ain't dead.
That's what it was called. Hey, I'm in Houston last night. I walk in that building. You have no idea how many people still come up to me and say the best shot best situation they've ever been around.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm not walking around saying why am I not up in the rafters?
Well, EJ, you clearly didn't.
Get out of here with that.
Clearly,
man.
you didn't see our show a couple weeks ago because they had asked me, who do I think, what son should be in the Hall of Fame? And I said you.
Well, I shouldn't.
Why?
But thank you. I was only here 3 years.
No. Hall of Fame. Not Ring of Honor, in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, my numbers based on who they're putting
you're
in
top 30 scorer of all time.
Based on who they putting in the Hall of Fame, with my numbers, yeah. My numbers are just as good or better than probably almost, it used to be about almost 3/4. Now it's a little bit cut down in half. I get that. But I don't want to get you too much off track. I love Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett, obviously, he's got Chicago in him. He's not from Chicago. He came from the East Coast, and he played in Chicago at the end of his high school career at Farragut High School.
Yeah, Farragut, yeah.
And so, he and I have a connection. We see each other. He gives me so much respect. I love him because he does understand the past.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think that he doesn't understand history. Oh, he does. He really does. He knows his history.
He's probably the most prominent one.
Shaq knows his history too. He knows his history, man. And so when he talks, I listen. Now he'll talk in that way, like, he deep down Chicago, So you got to kind of hold your ears open. And he doesn't bite his tongue.
I love it.
He does not. But I love that dude, man, and he is correct. Like, I'm old school. And you see me on Twitter. Look where I'm going at right now. I played against Michael Jordan virtually his entire career, man. I know Mike, okay? I consider him a friend. But I'm going to speak my mind, okay? And as I do that, I do. With total respect for him. He's unbelievable, the most maniacal competitor that I have ever come across in my life. He's ridiculous. He's sick. He's insane, okay? All of that. But I will continue to tell you people, as Kevin Garnett just did, you will never, ever, listen to me, people, you will never, ever, ever see anybody like LeBron James. You won't. And it's a number of reasons why. One, nobody will ever play at the level he's playing at this age. And it's not because they can't. It's because they just won't. Why? Because they're going to have a bunch of money. And they're not going to want to put in the effort to be able to put themselves in position to do it. They're going to have other things that they're doing, things that take their mind away. They're going to grow tired of playing. The competitive spirit is going to leave them. And they're not going to take the time to put millions of dollars into their body every year to be able to get themselves ready to play. No offense to that. If they play 12, 13, 14, 15 years, good for them. I don't have an issue with that. But you ain't playing 20. You're not going to see it playing at this level. So you got to enjoy it right now while you can. Don't go back and rely on YouTube years from now after he's retired and then try to appreciate him. You better appreciate what you're seeing right now. And that's what Kevin Garnett is saying. That's all he's saying.
Well, he's also saying more than just about LeBron.
Well, no. Steph. No, Steph.
He was talking about Jokic and the 6'10" guy that can only jump this high.
LeBron is here, and they're there because they're still young, and they're still trying to track to where he's ending, okay? So he's the top, okay? But, yeah, the skill set and all of that, you see guys doing things right now that is different than how we did it in the past. Now, again, we had guys in the past that can duplicate what some of these guys are doing. Oh, trust me. Like, I'll tell you this. If it was an open season for us to shoot threes back in the day, Curry wouldn't be revered like he is now. He'd be in the group. He'd be in a group. If Dale Ellis was allowed to shoot threes like Steph does,
oh boy,
he'd be in a group. Now, look, if I'm gonna tell you something, if I was allowed to shoot a jumper, turn my damn back, and go back down court, and the ball's halfway, I could do that. But you know what would have happened?
Yeah, hit.
I would have got cut. Coaches wouldn't have put up with that smack.
Okay.
You get me? Like, they wouldn't have put up with it. So I'm in the middle of this in that regard. Like, it's so many guys that I know I played with, man, that could shoot, that Mark Price, if they were allowed to do what Steph is allowed to do, then he would be in a group of guys. It wouldn't be that separation that people want to put him in and say, oh, he's just way up here. No. Guys could flat out shoot.
Okay. I get what you're saying. I know guys could shoot back in the day, but like, listen, all right, there's a fluidity of movement and a certain kind of like, I don't, for lack of a better word,
get away with it.
I don't give a fuck kind of.
Exactly.
Like Curry's shooting threes from damn near half court and splashing
And
them.
I'm telling you.
And I'm looking at Dale Ellis, and I know, Dale Ellis, phenomenal shooter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say Dale Ellis wasn't a great player, but he didn't have the fluidity that Steph had. He's a little stiff up top. Like, come on now.
But he could shoot it. We used to shoot from half court, man. Like, I'm telling you, I could stand in Steph Curry range, okay, in my prime, and I could shoot with ease.
Okay, I believe you.
But I couldn't do it. Can you imagine?
Cotton Fitzsimmons.
If I would have ran down the damn court
God, would he hate your ass
raised
out
up
so
from
fast?
26 feet and took a shot, I would have been ran out of the league. Like, guys are allowed to get away with stuff because of analytics. Analytics have allowed them to do this stuff. But we would be in the gym after practices and stuff and be like playing horse and just like I could shoot a normal jumper, right? From right below, the jump circle right there.
Mm-hmm.
I could shoot a normal jumper. And I was on target, but I would never do that. I averaged 1 3-pointer a game in my career.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that is so
because I
insane.
wasn't allowed to do it. Like, no, Eddie, no, closer the better. And I had a great mid-range game. And so that's why I just try to tell people, like, yeah, that's why I say LeBron is different in a sense in how he has persevered. I'm not even talking about his skill set. You don't see me up here talking about, well, LeBron, nobody's passed the ball like LeBron. Bird did. Magic did. Archibald did. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not saying that. I'm saying in regards to him, the dominance and the ability to still run out there at that age and jump and chase people down, we're never going to see that again. But we'll see a 6'8" guy that can dribble. We'll see a 6'8" guy that can jump. We'll see a 6'8" guy that's built like LeBron. I have no issue with that part. It's just him is how he's approached the game. So yeah, the Currys of the world, look, we're seeing Jokic clone right now.
Who?
In Şengün. He's not Jokic total.
No. Yeah.
But he has Jokic stuff.
He has Jokic tendencies.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's my point.
Okay.
Like, that's my point. So, I think, I agree with KG on one part, but I also, like KG 6'11".
Mm-hmm.
You think if KG played in this game today, how damn good would he be? Because he had 3-point range, but he didn't shoot it.
I mean, he's not that far removed from it, though.
But he's far enough removed in regards to the control that coaches had on him. Like, he wasn't, like, that's what people got to understand, man. Like, if we didn't shoot 48% to 50%, if we didn't shoot, people, understand this. And you go back and look at my numbers. If we didn't shoot 48 to 50%, we weren't getting paid.
What do you mean you weren't getting paid?
They would bring it up. GMs would bring it up. Well, you're shooting 45%. They would bring that up in negotiation. So in our mind, we like, okay, we got to shoot a high percentage. Bring any OG on here, any play, they will tell you. Like, I had in my contract that I had to average 2 offensive rebounds a game. in order to get a bonus on top of my contract. It's guys in the league right now, they don't even sniff 2 offensive rebounds a game.
Yeah.
But if you look at my numbers, I went for it. It's a many years in my career where I averaged 2 offensive rebounds a game because they put it on my plate. They ain't putting things on these guys' plate. They're shooting 42% and people saying they the greatest shooters ever and they can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Man, come on.
I got a question, EJ, just to pick your mind. If you took Steph in that group of players, like you said, and you just put him in a gym, right? Not talking about accolades all time, anything like that. Is he the best shooter in that gym?
In my mindset, I think Steph would probably be the best. And you total the shots out, okay? So what you do is you total coming off screens, you total running the floor, pull-ups, and you total and you give him a number, right? So say he's a 8 coming off screens, whereas Dale Ellis was a freaking 10. I was a 9. That's what I did, right? But then if you go off the dribble, Steph might cap out at 10, right? If you go from 3, Steph might cap out at 10. So when you do all the numbers, Steph would probably be up here. You get me? Yeah. But it'll be guys that are 9s. It'll be guys that's right there. So they're all in a bubble, is what I'm saying. But he might, like Klay Thompson, to me, has a prettier form than Steph. So he would get a bigger grade. He's better at coming off screens than Steph. Okay? So, but after it's all said and done, on the number of shots, left-hand runners, all this stuff, Steph would probably top out.
Yeah.
Okay? That's how you would do it. But it's not going to be this huge separation where people are saying that. And that's where I kind of push back.
Well, man, you said a lot of stuff right there, man. And there was one thing you said about listen, I think you have a lot of validity to what you're saying. I disagree slightly about the level of talk or the level of play for some of these individuals from both eras. Mm-hmm. I think could Steph survive in the 80s or 90s?
Without a doubt he could.
He could.
He is an assassin.
He could. However, there's also that physical element that
this right here.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah. It would have been tougher.
We could touch you back in our day. I can put my hand on your hip here and guide you.
Yeah. So it's a little bit different, but then vice versa. You take a guy like Dale Ellis or even yourself and you put him in today's era with the freedom of movement, and maybe maybe you guys are considered no.
Are you kidding me?
No doubt, Hall of Famers.
So, are you freaking kidding me? Oh my God. Are you kidding me, man? I wouldn't even be here right now. And if we had a podcast, we'd be at the Taj Mahal doing it. That's how much cake I had.
The Taj Mahal.
That's how much cake I had.
Oh, my goodness.
If I can play in today's game and I can catch the ball and turn and face a defender and he can't touch me, man.
What would you average?
I would at least 28. Easy. MJ, Michael Jordan, would have averaged 45.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, I'm telling you right now, that's Michael Jordan love for you.
There you go.
He would average about 45 if he could turn and face you and you could not touch him. Are you kidding me? Dominique would give you 40 a game.
Oh, yeah, you would.
Larry Bird would go to sleep and beat you. It's a different way. And then you can't get in the guy's space. So I can go up and shoot and you can't get in my space. Danny Ainge used to be in my jock strap. I go up and shoot and Danny Ainge, I'm like, damn, Danny, a little too close.
Well, AJ, you certainly feel you're feeling yourself right now. You were feeling
it's
yourself.
Holiday. We're going into the new year.
You're feeling yourself last night. You made a quote that we immediately picked up on last night, talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I don't know what I said, but I said something that had a very sexual overtone.
I did not get that one.
Okay,
But
I had to kick myself
Those just
when I
those
said
just
that
come
one.
and go
They
at this
just-
point.
yeah,
That's that's a common
we're just so
But
occurrence.
it was
used to it now,
nasty. It was really grotesque.
And you don't remember exactly what you
I
said?
do. I'm not saying it.
Oh, come on.
So,
Man, it was grotesque.
the one thing that you talked about was you were talking about Azubuike and how big he was, and you said, "I used to be that big back in the day." No, you didn't. No,
That's
you weren't.
not a. You know what?
No, you weren't.
You're gonna pick.
No,
you're
weren't.
gonna pick
Hold
one
on,
of the
hold on,
worst
hold on.
pitchers,
Wait. We got some more. Look at you. I'll give you credit.
That's
man.
not even a good
Come
pitcher.
on, man. You a little ripped right there.
Of
But
course I'm ripped.
that's like you maxed out. Look at this. This is another one. You a little ripped right there. But listen, you were 6'7", 215.
6'8.5".
Oh no. Not according to the stat guys
I
in
don't
Illinois.
care.
At Illinois,
that they were wrong.
EJ was 6'7", 215.
I just made it 6'7" to make people
Azubuike
not think
is
that.
7'1", 270. I don't know how you could compare yourself to the size of this man.
Man, that's the wrong picture. You gotta find one. You gotta find the one. I'm in a Rocket uniform. Man, that's when you get, because on camera they can kind of get you on another angle where you can't. Man, but in college, see, you should have got the one in college.
I got some of the ones in college.
I was freaking, man. I was 232. I was
This
like
man-
walking around like a sumo
Hey,
wrestler.
this man was on an advertisement in college that I came across. Man, I wish I would have pulled it up and put it. It was an Arby's. It was an Arby's commercial. It was an Arby's.
NIL
He
was
just
going
sitting there
on
flexing,
back then, but
giving his little look.
they were dropping money. But
talking about get
they
your
were
curly
dropping
fries
money
today.
down by my car as I came out of the restaurant, though. One time I came out of the restaurant, man, and I'm broke as I don't know what. That's why I say God is good, right? I ain't got no money. I come out of a restaurant. I can say this now. They can't get in trouble. They don't know who the alumni was. I look down at the wheel of my car. Man, at a row of hundreds just like this. I was like, damn.
I'm rich. Oh man.
Whoever you are, whoever that alumni was, thank you. I needed that, couple of K. A couple of K lasted for a bit.
Man, they treat you guys good up there in the Midwest.
Nah, the Illinois, I never asked anything from Illinois. There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good looking dude, isn't it? That's a good.
We're about to show you
dude.
guys some images that we can see on the screen right now, but we're about to put them on. But we got the two advertisements, one for Arby's and then one of EJ flexing at the free throw line. About to show you right here real quick. But listen, man, I know you're very. Like,
Look
there
at
we
that
go.
dude.
Look
Man.
at that.
Look at that dude. I mean, like, you look at that dude, you're like, oh God, he's just so handsome.
Oh my goodness, man! Hey, listen, you are pretty ripped right there in that free throw shot right there. That's
I had 3% body fat when I played.
Good God, man, for real?
Yeah. So every time I got hit, I could be out a week because I had no doctor say, Eddie, you got no fat. Like, well, it's just the price I'm gonna pay, man. Because I'm not,
I know you're very
I don't
proud.
know where it's gone.
You're still in shape, man.
No, I walked past the mirror the other day. I'm like, damn, who is that?
3% body fat. I don't think I've ever had 3% body fat since the day I was born. Like, there's just not. It has never happened.
Yeah.
The best shape I've ever been in was I was 6'2" in the military my first year, and I got down to 185. And I was pretty ripped then, but
Yeah.
it's been a long time since those days.
Yeah,
so.
man.
Well, hey, we appreciate you all joining us for another episode of Outside Shots. Hey, if you want to come out and check out, maybe we'll go see EJ at our next takeover. But come out and check out our takeover. The next one's against the Sacramento Kings, January 16th. We're going to have a blast out there, lower level seats. And then after the game, maybe we'll swing by and say hi to EJ.
Yeah,
He's
come
usually
on
pretty good
by.
for that,
I'll
so.
be down there. You won't miss me. I have my tight Italian suit on.
So check it out. You can go to gophnx.com, go to the events tab, and get yourself a ticket today. It's a fun time, free food and drink before the game, and we all mob together and we sit in the same section together. And it's all nothing but diehard Suns fans, man. It's a great time.
Yeah.
So,
But honestly, let me say this. Look, I want to wish everyone, a happy new year. Like, we sit on this podcast and we talk and we, go at people or whatever, but I love everybody. I love the fact that you guys come on here and watch us. It's never personal. I think people that come up to me at the games, they know that.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate about what I talk about. I have my own opinions, but I respect everybody. I don't hate on anybody. And I think that's the mentality I think that we have to take into the new year, because this new year coming up is going to be a lot of hatred thrown around.
Yeah.
And we have to be ready for it. And I don't want to turn this into a political show at the end, but I just want people to understand that what we're entering into in 2024 is going to be very dangerous based on rhetoric and how people are taking sides from a political standpoint. And it's not going to be easy. And it's not going to be easy on sports, because a lot of athletes are going to have their opinions. A lot of people are going to be going at athletes for having their opinions, telling them to shut up and dribble and all of these things. And I was a history major, Saul. I went to school. I got my degree. I earned my degree. Political science and history is a part of my life. I enjoy it. I watch CNN more than I watch ESPN. People don't know that. I try to calm my thoughts and my ideals and all of that. But the one thing I do want is fairness, and I just want people not to have the hatred in regards to whoever wins or what have you. And I just hope that our country understands that, man, because I worry about 2024. Like when I pray about things, that is one of the first things on my mind, because I just sense that 2024 is not going to be an easy year for us based on what we're going to encounter come the fall.
I think one of the great things about what we're trying to do here, and this is away from the political spectrum, but is that, so many places on Twitter, you get so much vitriol and you get so much, people are just, if you have a take, people are going at you and then they're trying to come at you the way you look or your family or your race or whatever, right? They're just trying to dog you and they hide behind these, these images that are not them. It's just like an egg, or it's something that's unrelated to them. And then they got the number attached to their name and it's, 785644321 or whatever, you know what I mean? So people can hide. But here, and especially in our Discord and in our diehard chat, we can disagree all day long, but it's civil, it's educated basketball talk, and it's something that I've never really been a part of, and to be able to create something like this as a company and give people a forum to be able to just chat and talk about these kind of things and have good solid basketball talk or football talk or whatever, is something that I've really appreciated. And to go back to your point, yes, I think at the end of the day, the thing that we got to remember is it's okay if we disagree. It's all right if we disagree. We might not see eye to eye. We might not have the same political stances. That's fine. But the respect and the discourse can be characterized as civil, and it should be. It should always be like that. And so hopefully that'll happen in 2024. You're probably right. There's probably going to be some issues here and there, but we can control ourselves, and you can control yourselves. And every time you come into this show, you know that, hey, it doesn't matter if you say some off the wall shit, as long as it's not personal and you're not going at people for you're not just being a dick, basically, then it's all good. Like, so prong 1, 2, 3. Appreciate all your feedback and your quotes and your context. We might disagree, but at the end of the day, we appreciate you watching the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll give you 4 or 5.
and EJ's going to give you some love too. So thank you all so much for joining us on another episode of Outside Shots. That's all for us today. You can follow my man at JumpShot8 on Twitter and on Instagram. You should follow him on Instagram. He's a pretty good follow on Instagram. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold up. We forgot something. We forgot.
Know what you forgot.
We forgot. My man is no longer a 2-time Emmy Award winner. 3-time is now in the house. 3-time. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, from Chicago, Illinois, inner city. EJ, don't tell me that dreams can't happen, right? Been in the NBA for 40 years, played 18 years, and I adjusted to my outside life doing broadcasting. And I have 3 Emmys, okay, as a broadcaster for the Phoenix Suns. And I'm going to get one for SiriusXM NBA Radio as well. That's on 4 to 7 every day.
And one for Outside Shots.
Maybe we'll get one for Outside Shots.
I was getting ready to say that. Outside Shots, baby. Happy New Year, everybody.
Peace.